So how did you raise the money for Catch 22?
Catch 22 was it still was, I mean, people we knew. It wasn't just family, probably for the first time, family and very close friends. But it was still people that, one of the chief financiers of Catch 22 was a guy bartended in New York for a decade. He was one of the regulars there. He worked at Pfizer around the corner. This is kind of a thing. Maybe it's almost a trope of film financing, but most people who fund films, especially smaller films, little independent things, where making money is, truth be told, and being totally straightforward, shouldn't be the chief goal of the business, basically, of the company that owns this film, because it probably isn't going to. So when I sit down with a financier, one of the first things I say is, this needs to be money that you are totally okay with never seeing again. I mean, I'm going to try to make money. I have a fiscal interest in this as well. I would love to make money. The more the better doing this. But I understand that the odds are low, and you need to understand that too. So most people who do finance, smaller independent projects, like a lot of the ones I've done, are people who work in some field where they make an abundance of money and don't necessarily love their day-to-day, or at least are not entirely fulfilled by it, and they want to play in a sandbox that's a little more fun, or maybe even a lot more fun. And film can very much be that, and be a fulfilling thing if you're part of a story that gets told and actually people see and like. I think that is a fulfilling thing, especially for someone who day-to-day works outside of that, And the chief financier of Catch 22 put in about half the money, was just a guy honestly, it wasn't even that close to. We went to a Clippers game out here in LA once. We were not close friends. And I think I might have reached out to him when we first started raising money for Catch 22. And he was like, oh, man, that's not something I have the money to do or whatever. He's like, but I know people with money. And, if I see an opportunity, I'm happy to pass your stuff along. So that was like the initial interaction with him about that. And then at some point down the line, he had gotten a Christmas bonus or something, and he was like, sent me a text from a bar one night. He was bored traveling somewhere, and he was like, okay, man, how much money do you need to do this? And I was like, we need X number of dollars. He's like, all right, let's do it. And then that was it. We were in production. So yeah, man, if you want to do this on the long haul, I would say curate those weird relationships that you have, because you never know.
And how do you give folks like that value? Do you include him, take him to the festivals, take him to the premiere? Like, what do you give him a small acting role? What is the value do you think that you're giving this guy?
Yes, 100%. I mean, like I said, you are not selling financial remuneration. You are selling involvement with this process. And in the case of Catch 22, we had Matt out to set while we were shooting in Brooklyn, and when we premiered at the Palm Beach Film Festival, we of course had him down, and he was with us the whole week. Part of your job as a producer and if you're fundraising for anything is to know who you're selling to and how best to sell it to them. You're always selling. That's all it is. You're always constantly, in one way or another, selling something to someone, whether it be getting the distributor to listen to what you're saying and like it and put it out there, or whatever the market that you're selling to is. You got to know what they want to hear, how they want to hear it, and say it to them that way.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Selling Your Screenplay podcast. If you'd like to hear the full interview, just go to sellingyourscreenplay.com/podcasts, or to go directly to the episode, just use the link in the show notes. Thanks for watching.